Hey everybody, I'm going to try to do a few videos to talk about some of our products to give you some information about them in case you've been looking at the idea book online or if you have your own copy. But sometimes just seeing it and hearing what it's about can help you make a decision as to what you want to get. I'm going to start off talking about probably my favorite product that Close to My Heart offers, and I love everything, but this one I just love. And every time I do a retreat, uh, these sell out every single time. And these are called the flip flaps. In fact, the last retreat I was at, I sold them all. So all I have left is actually these few and just enough to do a demonstration on how to use them. But this is actually an older pack because with our last idea book, there was a reconfiguration of our flip flaps. Our old ones only came with the strip on the short end. But now you get a pack of 12 with 6 on this side and 6 on the long end, which is awesome because that gives you more flexibility for your flip flaps. Flip flaps are basically page protector quality. If you've ever held a flip flap, this is exactly the same quality as our page protectors. And personally, I've never found any other brand that has a better quality page protector. These are not flimsy, just great quality. So hopefully you've experienced our page protectors, or at least the flip flaps. And we do also carry page protectors for strap hinge albums as well. So for those of you that like to use the strap hinge albums, we do have page protectors that will work with those. So let me first of all just show you some flip flaps in action. I'm going to show you here this one. Let me turn it around. Flip flaps are a great way to get lots of pictures. So you would look at this and go, I've got 1, 2, and then over here I've got 5 more. I've got 7 pictures on here, but I actually have quite a bit more than just 7. I have the 5 over here, but right here where it looks like part of the title are some flip flaps. And you can see I went ahead and put my L right on top of there. So it does kind of camouflage it, but I'm able to turn, and now not only do I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 photos on this layout, and it's a great way to get lots of photos on a layout without cluttering it up, and you're still able to have a nice design for your photos. Here's another one. This is probably one of my favorite layouts because it's one of those layouts where you think back on your memories, and this is my grandmother, and my grandmother raised me, and it's not just for photos. I documented the story of how I came to live with my grandmother and what she meant in my life, my life and my brother's life. And kind of a little side note, some advice, you probably already realize this, but as moms and women, we tend to be the ones behind the camera. And when searching for photographs of my grandmother, it was very difficult to find photographs because she was always the one behind the camera. So please make sure you take time. Thankfully now we have selfies, so we tend to take pictures of ourselves, but make sure you get in those photos so that you're leaving a legacy for your family, and they don't have the same problem. But you can see here, I stitched a little crochet and crocheted flower with a button there, right there on the edge. It's hard to see, but I just did it right here. And then on the other side was the story about my grandfather. And again, I did the same thing. I stitched a little bit of more masculine button over here. I changed the font of my type, did some stamping to kind of make it look more masculine, and told the story of him in my life. So I value these greatly because they're not with us anymore. Those were the ones from this album. I wanted to show you another one here. This is another one where took flip flaps. Oop, I keep forgetting I gotta turn it the other way. And kind of incorporated it. You know, it's almost like a little mini album in your inside your album, mini album inside your regular album. And I actually adhered. I did not stitch, but I adhered the buttons so that way you kind of almost have like a tab system here. And you know, years ago you didn't really get photos that were 4x6. They were what, 5x3 or something like that. So I just used background paper, stamped it. You know, you could use pattern paper. But here I have some photos of when I had a trip to San Francisco with my best friend at the time. So again, you can see how many photos I have on this layout. And you know, it looks like, oh, you only have one picture on this entire page. But in the reality, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pictures on this one page. So you can see how it has great potential to help you get all your photos, especially when it's of one event, you know, and you end up with 30 photos and it's one event. All right, let me show you a couple others here, and then I'm going to show you how they work. This is what I did for a page contest last year for convention, Close to My Heart convention. In the theme, we were at Disney World actually last year, and the theme was Inside Out. So what I did is I did a story about being a mother and all the emotions that come with being a mother. And I kind of took it literal and tried to reflect on those emotions that come along, like disgust. You remember what it was like to change diapers and have your child throw up in your face and that sort of thing, and that really did happen. Anger, you know, when you learn that there's another side of you. I call it mama bear. When somebody comes after your children, or you feel like they do, kind of scary sometimes. But and then there's sadness, of course. For me, the sadness is seeing your kids grow up. Mine are now 20 and 16, so they're not this little bitty babies anymore. And then fear and joy, of course, joy and the fear, you're constantly afraid of, you know, something happening to them. But these are the small 3x4 flip flaps, and, you know, lots of journaling. So it's a great way to actually tell stories and get a little more than just the who, the what, and the where kind of journaling. But there's also another way, before I go on to the, oh, here we go, tap these. There's this with my husband and my daughter when she was little, took her to the park, and you can flip this open. So again, they only had the adhesive on the short side on our older ones, so you couldn't make it go up this way, you only could go from left to right. But now, like I said, they do make the adhesive strips on the long side, so it is possible to actually lift them up in that direction if you so choose. And then I just turned, so this side is going up and down. Now this is blank on the back, but this is a place where I probably should do some journaling before I become senile and forget what that day was like. Alright, and then let's see. Another one. Again, this time though, instead of going from, I wish I could get this closer here so you could see. You want to keep in mind, and when I put these together, it might make more sense. There's a couple different ways that you can attach the flip flaps. You can do it directly onto the top of your page protector, or you can actually do what I like to do, and that's punch holes and thread it through, and that'll make more sense when I show you. But if you do choose to do the punching of the holes, be careful, because if the corner of your pictures are right here on the edge, it's very difficult not only to punch the hole, but you have to get a cutting mat in there, and it's just too close to where the seam is, and it's impossible. Which is one reason I made this flip flap on this side, so I could actually thread it through with ease. And then I have again, but this time just real simple, but I have several photos in here. So lots of photos on this layout. Then we have another way to get lots of photos on your layouts, and these are called Pocket Plus. This is one that we did for a workshop not too terribly long ago. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that seems to make life a little easier, doesn't it? So you can see here, imagine there's your 2-page layout in between. But then you can take these Pocket Plus, and we have them in different sizes. We actually have 4 designs, and there's 4 by 12, and then there's 6 by 12. These are the 6 by 12, and you can get them in 2 different configurations. These are the 3 by 4s, but you can also get them in where it's 3 4 by 6, which instead of me saying that, let me just show it to you. There, you can see the difference. So you have your 4 by 6, and then you have 6 3 by 4 cards. And our paper packs now come with 2 sheets of Picture My Life cards, which you can see you can incorporate your Picture My Life cards right into your traditional scrapbooking. So don't think, oh, I don't do pocket scrapbooking, so I can't use these cards. It's so not true. In fact, this one here is actually a title, and I haven't glued this piece down because I want to wait till I put my photos in. But you could just use this. But I have a little piece in here where I could either put a photo, you won't even see the fact that there's a title there. I could do journaling there. That hello would make a great card front. So, you know, those are all sorts of different things you can use. Let's see what else. So that's just one way. And, you know, your flip flaps can actually even go on here. So this could become super interactive. You could have a flip flap over here, a flip flap over here. You could actually have flip flaps on top of your Pocket Plus pages. So really, really fun things you could do there. Now I'm going to show you these next 2 layouts. I'm going to show you how to put everything together. They're back here. Let me pull those out and move this album. Let me tell you too, we have different, I sold out, like I said, I sold out, so all I have were these 4 by 6s left. But in the flip flaps, we have 2 by 2s, 3 by 3s, and 4 by 4s. Also have 3 by 4s, 4 by 6, 5 by 7s, and even 6 by 12s. And you're going to get 12 in each package. And if it's not a square size, so 4 by 6, 5 by 7, 3 by 4, you're going to get 6 with the adhesive strip on the short side, and you're going to get 6 with the adhesive on the long side, short and long side. So 6 and 6. And let's see, of course, if it's a square, it won't make a difference. And those prices run anywhere from $2.95 up to $7.95, and you get 12 in those packages. So it just depends on the sizes that you get. And in fact, let's see, I thought I had it open here. Ah, I do. In your idea book, it's actually all these page protectors are on page 12 and 13. So you can see here, maybe the lighting's not that great, but you can see here along here are the different configurations for the Pocket Plus, and then here you have all the different varieties of flip flaps. And then we have our pocket page protectors and our traditional page protectors. We have both top loading and side loading for post bound, and then we also have the side loading for the strap hinge. So if you haven't seen those, there's a huge variety. We even have, I believe they're out of the mini. I think those have sold out already because they've done away. We're getting close to the end of a new idea book. We get a new idea book. It goes live August 1st. I have convention at the end of the month, so we'll be getting our 1-month preview of the new stuff. So some of the stuff is starting to come to an end, and when they sell out this close to the end of an idea book, they're not going to restock it if they plan on retiring it. So, which I guess, you know, that would make sense. Most people understand that. So let me show you how this works. When I go to the retreats, I co-own a retreat company called Scrappers Prescription, scrappersrx.com, and usually I try to do a little demo at the retreats so that people can see. It's a lot easier, you know, when you have someone showing you how to do it. So, all right, I'm going to show you this one. This is a layout I made a while back, and again, I still need a journal, but we won't discuss that. When I was trying to potty train my daughter, we had a struggle in getting her potty trained, and you know, they weren't going to let her go up to the next level in daycare until she got potty trained. And she's a lot like me. She's a visual learner, and she's, you know, she likes rewards. So we came up with this system that a friend shared with me where we made a poster. So she got stickers, and she had so many stickers for when she pee-peed and so many when she, you know, pooped, and told her when she filled it in, I gave her a goal at the bottom, where do you want to go? And she wanted to go see Cinderella. So that became her goal. And it became like this game, and it worked like a charm. So anyway, I have all these photos of her, so there's a flip-flap running that way. But this is one of the first layouts I did using flip-flaps, and I made a mistake. And I wanted to share that with you so you can avoid that mistake. I had this flip-flap. Take it out of the here for a second. I had adhered this flip-flap, obviously not this one, but the original one, around the back of the page. Not thinking, now, how's that going to work? When I put it in the page protector, I am not going to be able to open it. So I had to take it off. I used some undo, and even undo, it's a tough job. This stuff is super, super sticky. And once, you know, you expose that and stick it down, it's near impossible to get up. And I use the undo. If you don't know what undo is, because a lot of people haven't heard it, we don't carry this. I think Michael's carries it now, and Walmart I think even has it. I picked it up at Scrappers at the Scrapbooking Expo because they had them on sale. I keep this in my kit. I love it. It doesn't damage your photos. It helps. It releases the adhesive. It doesn't remove the adhesive. So while it's wet, you can reposition things, and then as it dries, it's permanent again. However, this adhesive is so sticky. Even though you can get it off with the undo, that adhesive will be all over your hands, and it's just, ugh. So when I tell you this is sticky, it's no joke. Think of it as an envelope. You have your envelope with your photos here, and you're going to close the envelope. So that's how you're going to adhere it. Because this photo is so close to the edge, the best way to actually use this is to put it directly on top of the page protector. A lot of people, I've seen videos online, they tell you this is how you have to do it. This is not how you have to do it. In this case, yes, because it's close to the edge. But next I'm going to show you how to do it where you actually cut your page protector. It's totally personal. You know, you may not mind putting it directly on your page protector. It's not my favorite because you can see the adhesive, but you know, some people that doesn't bother. So make sure your photo is all the way in. Okay. I'm going to be journaling back here. That's why that's still empty. And make sure your photos are lined up on the corner. You don't want to, you know, they're page protectors, so they slide. Let me see if I can zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So you want to be careful. What I do is I line it up so the corners are matching. And then what I do is I come back and I peel just a little bit. Get it started. That way you can keep, of course I'm doing this kind of upside down for being right-handed, or how I would normally do it, but come on. All right. And that way you can make sure that it's lined up. Okay. And then I grab it here and I pull. And that way I have a little more control over it. So press down, and now I have a flip-flap. And the adhesive, you can see it here. Let's see, I'm going to zoom in some more as much as I can. All right, that's as far as I can zoom in. You can see, I'm trying to get the light here. You can see the adhesive strip. But it's not bad. And I have seen some creative ways where people put like washi tape here, and that may, be something you want to do. Some people I know actually trim this little extra piece off before they actually glue it down, so that makes it a little less obvious. So that's personal preference and however you want to do it. But this is just an example with this right on top of the page protector. Now the last thing I wanted to show you was how I tend to do it, because I think cutting the page protector is has a cleaner look. So this was one of one of the layouts from the kit I'm doing this weekend, or weekend after next. So I'm going to show you here. Lots of photos I've had of the kids at the beach, and yes, I'm still scrapping photos from when they were small. Anyway, this layout on this side, oh, let me zoom back out. Okay, I have all the photos on this side that I want. I can do flip flaps on here, but I didn't need to because I decided to use one of those pocket pluses. And so this will go in my album just like this, and I'll be able to have the extra photos right there if I want. But let me show you how you're going to put this together. So there's a big story that I'm going to journal about when my son decided to take off down the beach while my daughter was in the water, in the ocean. And it was kind of like, leave my child who's in the ocean or run after my child who's running down the beach. So thankfully my daughter heard me holler and she came up out of the water, and I had to literally run in my bathing suit and all the jiggle down the beach to catch him. So there's going to be a lovely memory that's going here. So here's how I do it. The first thing you want to do is, I like to do it with a page with, I'm not going to glue it down yet. I'm just going to set this in here. Okay. Let me try. I have to turn this around, otherwise I won't be able to tell what I'm doing. I glued this down. Oop, I just lost a thing here. I don't want to glue this. Well, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. All right. And I have to holler at my dog. She's over here. Zoe. She's chowing down on herself. Anyway, so it goes back to lining this up. Now, a lot of times I have a photo mat under here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just lining it up. That's lovely, Zoe. I'm sorry if you're hearing that. My dog is almost 14 years old, and she's got cancer, and so she's got some issues. All right, so I'm going to stick that down like I showed you a while ago, making sure it's lined up, and then I'm going to peel it back. All right, so now that's on there. And then I could go and I could glue this down. I don't remember why I didn't glue it down before, but let me grab my adhesive here. Just going to glue this right here. My photo's there. There's a picture, apparently. I don't think this is when he was running down the beach. He was running up from the water. I promise you I didn't stop to take a photo while he was running away from me. All right, so there's that. Now what I have to do is put it in my page protector, because I have to mark where this is located. So I'm just going to use like a permanent marker. So I'm using one of my alcohol markers, and I'm going to put a black dot at that corner and a black dot at that corner. And it doesn't matter that it's permanent, because you're actually going to cut that away. And then I got to take the page out, and then I'm going to grab a cutting mat, and you can see what I'm talking about. This is getting really close to where the edge of the page protector is. If I put, let me grab a piece of paper here, because it'll make it easier for you to see. Actually, let me just use a post-it note here. Make it easier for you to see the black dot, because, you know, black on black there's the dot there, and then we have the dot over here. Okay. All right. So, but you can see how close this is to the edge. Now, this is another product that is not close to my heart, but as a longtime scrapper and lover of finding out new tools, I found at a retreat somebody showed me this screw punch by Martha Stewart, and it is the bomb. I had such trouble with the hammer and eyelet setters going through the page protectors that it was almost embarrassing at retreats trying to show people how easy this was. So you basically just take that hole and you push down and the hole is punched. It's awesome. And they're hard to find. I got mine on Amazon. Alright, and I can't remember the price. They weren't cheap, but look how easy. That just can't be easier. So the holes are punched. Now what you have to do is take a metal-edged ruler, keep your page protector, your cutting mat there. I hope I'm kind of off the screen there. And you are going to cut from this hole to this hole. Now, the reason you're doing this is if you did not put the holes and all you did was slice, that slice is going to keep tearing and it's just gonna run like a pair of pantyhose. So the holes keep it from continuing. And then you're just going to take your craft knife and again a metal edge ruler and just make sure it's all cut all the way through. And now I call it threading. You're going to thread that photo in. Now, depending on the configuration, sometimes you have to take the photo out because then you can bend and flex a little easier. But when it's an up and down, it's usually pretty simple. It's a little angled, but it should still be okay. You're going to just take this page, slide it in, and you're going to thread this photo through. And again, it's at an angle, so I've just got to kind of pull it through. As I'm pushing this down, it's really as easy. I'm trying to, the page is sticking. There we go. All right, there we go. And just slide this in. There we go. I promised it would work. All right, and so now I have this nice clean. The adhesive is hidden behind the photo. If I'd had a photo mat, it would be even more hidden. But right there, I've got another photo on that layout. So if I zoom back out, put this here, I've got this layout that could have a whole lot of photos. Another thing I forgot to tell you is you can stack these. So I thought I had some here that were already done. I did, but it's gotten away from me. Oh, here it is. You can stack these. So just take them and line them up, remove the adhesive off of the top one, glue it down, right? You're going to fold like an envelope. So here's the opening, so you're going to fold this way. They'll be stuck together, and then you'll be able, that's how the other examples I showed you, how they were able to to do 3, 4, and 5 in a row. And the other thing to keep in mind is these make cute, little, quick, inexpensive mini albums. So if you wanted to give a little mini album to somebody and you didn't want to spend a lot of money, you could put these together. You could bind this with ribbon, decorative paper. There's different ways you could do it, and you could have your photos in here, and you could have maybe, a journaling area against a photo. And it would be a quick little gift you could give somebody, and you didn't spend a lot of money and really not a lot of time because you were having to decorate an entire, layout 12 by 12. So you have this, and in this case, I could use my pocket pages here, my Pocket Plus pages, and I would end up having lots of photos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on a 2-page spread, And I could add more because I still had a few photographs still left. And, you know, sometimes you have photos like this, which isn't something you necessarily want to be, you know, a prime focal point, but still, it's cute. It's your baby, and it's like, oh, look at their little nose, look at their little mouth, and that would be something that's perfect in one of the flip flaps from behind. So you still have the photo. It's still something, and same way with blurry photos. If you have a blurry photo, that, you know, sometimes it's the only copy you have. You don't want to get rid of it. I have some photos that were double exposed. Remember when photos used to get double exposed when you didn't realize the film hadn't rewound in your camera, and you went ahead and you took photos again? And it was the last holiday with my grandfather before he passed away, and it was overexposed by my best friend's bridal shower. So two super important events that were double exposed, and I cannot part with them because you can make the people out even though it's double exposed. Those would be photos that I would try to use somewhere, maybe like this in the back of my album, so I could still have those photos. And that would mean so much to me. It may not mean anything to anybody else, but it would mean a lot to me and to the loved ones and the family. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, I've been yapping your ear off for 30 minutes. And I think that's all I needed to share with you. If you have any questions whatsoever about the flip flaps, if you have any testimonies, I know some of you out there, I know Nancy, I know you use them, Brenda, Karen, I know you use them. So if there's anything you want to share, or you want to post a picture or an example, I would love that if you wanted to do that. So at any rate, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be talking to you later. Bye.